Hello, I'm Joe, and welcome to the video. It's time for another sketchbook tour. I don't think I've ever been so excited and so nervous to show off a sketchbook at the same time. I feel like I always ramble about how oh, I have such mixed feelings about the sketchbook and oh, I just don't know how to feel about it. And honestly, it's the same for this one, but I don't mind it. It's different, I don't know. I'll talk more about my feelings about the sketchbook as we go through it, but right now I have just 3 things to announce before we dive into the rest of it. Number 1, I have officially started the Joesta Patreon. Currently, there are 2 tiers, a $2 tier and a $10 tier. I plan on posting a bunch of art college work, extra studies, extra art, just a bunch of extra content that you won't see on YouTube, as well as exclusive sneak peeks for future projects and future YouTube videos and stuff like that. If you're interested in supporting me on there, the link to my Patreon will be in the description, and thank you so much for checking it out. Number 2, people always ask me about the stickers on my sketchbook, and I have to say I usually buy them from Etsy, but this time around I don't know, I just didn't have time to sit down and look for stickers that I actually wanted. So these are from Five Below, these are also from Five Below, and then these are from Temu. Yeah. And number 3, if you end up enjoying this video, I have 2 other sketchbook tours up on my channel right now, as well as just a bunch of other content. I also have an Instagram where I usually post some extra art, some extra sneak peeks. And yeah, with all of that out of the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into the sketchbook. Okay, so there's not really much to say about the first page. As you can tell, I didn't really do anything. But on this side, I just taped in a bunch of things that I collected over the summer. I used to do a thing where I would put a little sticky note doodle at the beginning of every single one of my videos, so I just put some of them here. And then I went to see Spider-Verse literally 5 or 6 times in theaters, so these are just a few of the tickets. Y'all, I was so obsessed with this movie, it was so bad. And then these are just dates. So I started this June 8th, 2023, and I ended it November 3rd, 2023. So I had this for, oh, not even 5 months. It was a little less than 5. But whatever, I'm gonna move on. Okay, if you're familiar with my channel, you're probably familiar with this spread. The video I made about making this spread is currently my most viewed video on YouTube, and I honestly don't know how to feel about that. I still really like the art on this page. I think it looks so good. I could do so much better. I feel like if I really applied myself and I really learned how to use all of these supplies, but for what it is, it's really good. I'm really proud of this page. I'm not really proud of the video at this point, but it's fine. So on this page, I really wanted to draw, what's his name, the Spot. So I decided I would just paint a black background, and then I'd go over in Posca pens and just different acrylic paints. And then on this page, y'all, the fixation, it was so bad. When I say I was fixated on this movie, I mean it. I don't usually draw that much fan art, but I was obsessed, y'all. Me and my boyfriend had also started watching regular show during this time, so I just drew Spider-Verse crossover comic with Mordecai and Rigby. It's stupid. You can pause it if you want to read it. These are just some figure studies that I did. I think I made these using Line of Action, though I could be wrong. I think these turned out really good overall. I feel like I'm still not the best at anatomy, but I'm trying to get better, and these were definitely a step in the right direction. I had to censor her boobs though, because I didn't want YouTube to hate me. Here are some more Spider-Verse studies I did. I had one on YouTube, and I was watching one of the Spider-Verse trailers, and then I was you know what? I could draw this. So I put the video at 0.25 speed, and then I just paused on every frame that I could, and I drew the frame that I paused on. These are of Gwen, of course. These are of Miles, and I'm so mad that I didn't finish this out. I really wish I did, because I feel like it would have looked so cool. But I guess I could go back and finish it if I wanted, but I don't feel like it. So here I felt like doodling. It's a mix of OCs and fan art and stuff like that. I will point this one out though, because this isn't my character. This is by @Mimisus on Instagram. It's of their character Dr. Daniel Spector, which I also drew him in my drawing 20 characters video, if you haven't watched that one. I wrote right here, I can't draw today and that's okay. So I guess I was just kind of having a little art block spell. It happens sometimes. Miguel O'Hara doodles. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not much of a Miguel O'Hara simp. I get the appeal, it's just not for me. And then that's a drawing of my boyfriend. These are my OCs. And yeah, this is what I mean by like, I'm making art that I like in this sketchbook, but I have mixed feelings about it because I like how all of this turned out, but I'm always so mad at myself whenever I don't create like really pretty polished pages, and I'm trying to get out of that funk because as much as like the really popular sketchbook tours on YouTube make it seem like, oh, your sketchbooks have to be beautiful and polished and finished, they don't, you know? You can just do whatever you want. I actually love this page. I think it looks so cool. So these were character explorations for my character Bill. If you watched my redesigning old OCs video, you probably already know who he is. I still don't know what I want his finished design to look like. Like, obviously it's not this. I changed it up a little bit. Anyways, I think the page looks really good. I love all the little details that I added around him and just the way I colored it. I don't know, it just looks really nice. And then this page I gave up on. We're gonna move forward. I did not give up on this page though, as you can tell. I actually love how this piece turned out so much. Bill's design has changed since then, and so has Lunabelle's, but I still like it. It looks really nice. I really wish I had like a brain that could constantly come up with ideas for pieces like these, but I don't, and it makes me sad because I love making art like this, and I always feel like so accomplished whenever I do. And then this is just a page full of swatches and color testing, and then a little doodle of me. These were supposed to be life drawings at a roller skating rink that I went to, but then I realized I'm not comfortable enough with life drawing to do it with a pen, so I did these four, and then I moved on to Pinterest, and I just drew some random people that I saw on there. My favorites are probably this one, and this one. In the latter half of the sketchbook, I start doing more life drawings, so yeah, you'll be seeing more of stuff kind of like this. But yeah, I don't know, I think the colors and the way I did the spread looks really nice. Like, even if I didn't finish it as much as I wanted to, it looks good. Okay, so this page was a collab, whatever, that I did with this friend. We were sitting in church and we just started drawing on this page. So it's filled with a bunch of like dumb inside jokes and doodles. And then right here is more explorations for Lunabelle and Collateral's world. So these were like ideas for her neighborhood and stuff like that. It's mainly just that. I used to want her story to take place in like a more New Orleans styled setting, but now I don't know. I don't think so. I'm thinking more Florence, Italy. We'll see. The story is just, it's taking me so long to develop, y'all. I still really like how this page turned out though, especially up here. It looks so good. If there's any page that I have to say I hate in this sketchbook, it would have to be this spread. I think I was going through an art block during this time anyways. Like, I remember I drew these two pages in between like hours-long sessions of playing Stardew Valley. I don't know what about it, but I think I was just kind of feeling burnt out and like not really wanting to do art. I always have the idea that I have to have these like super high expectations for myself, and if I can't meet them, then I'm just not good enough, and then I end up going back to where I started. It's been a constant cycle for like the past year. We're working on it. It'll get better. I hate to say it. I love every piece I make of Lunabelle. I love Lunabelle dearly. I love her to death. This is not it though. I don't want to look at this page. But on this one, let me see, is it in frame? But on this page, it's a doodle of me and my boyfriend, and then I was just kind of like drawing my thoughts. Again, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm sorry, Lunabelle, this isn't it. I think I was kind of going through an art block at this time, actually. I had started like putting the expectation on myself to upload once a week to YouTube, and I don't want to say that was like taking a toll on myself, but it kind of was, at least in terms of like art creation. So these are just random doodles. These are random Gwen doodles. I really like how that one turned out, actually. It looks really cute. And then on this page, we have another Spider-Verse spread. I really like how these doodles turned out, actually. But otherwise, I feel like I should have put a lot more effort into it. I feel like I shouldn't have rushed it as much as I did. I still think it looks good. The anatomy's good. The coloring is smooth, even if it isn't that dynamic or, I don't know, interesting. Not much to write home about. It's pretty standard. Okay, now this, I love this spread. I just kind of found like pieces of colored paper lying around in my room, and so I cut 2 of them out and taped them into my sketchbook, and I did some line of action studies on them. Some of these are Pinterest actually, but I think most of these are line of action. I actually love how this one turned out, and I love how this one turned out, and I think they all turned out really good overall. Like, I'm actually pretty happy with how this spread turned out. So I did these doodles in church. These are just like character explorations for Lunabelle, more explorations about her setting and then her outfit. It's mainly just her setting though, now that I'm thinking about it. This story is taking so long to develop, y'all. I feel bad because I haven't had as much time to think about it lately. So looking back at all of this, it's just like, I wish I got to work on it more. So here are some persona concept doodles that I did for my persona. I ended up not going with this design just because it felt a little too like plain and just, I don't know, it just didn't really look like me to me. Except for this one. This is like exactly how I perceive myself to look like. And then I was gonna do a meet the artist, but I obviously gave up on it because I didn't like how this turned out, so I stopped. Oh my gosh, I love this page though. I love this so much. This is of my character Cromwell. It was done with watercolor and colored pencils, which I don't know if I mentioned it yet, by the way, but if you're wondering what art supplies I use, they will all be listed in a pinned comment in the comments, duh. But yeah, I love how this turned out. I love how the moths look. I love how he looks. I love the little like Ponyo inspired little gold thingies going around him. It just, this page makes me so happy. I think it looks so cool. With how good this is, that we're gonna have to move on because the next page, I love this one so much. Oh, it looks so good. So me and my family, we went on a trip to New Orleans to visit family and then also to go to the aquarium. And so I actually hadn't been to the Audubon Aquarium before it was remodeled, and I'm sad it's remodeled. If you know what I'm talking about, I miss the old entrance room. I miss it so much. I'm not gonna ramble about it though. So yeah, after we did the aquarium, me and my family ended up at this restaurant called Mother's. I forgot what I got from there, I'm not gonna lie, but I liked it. I remember liking the restaurant, and I just kind of drew whatever was in front of me. And I think it turned out pretty good. This page looks pretty nice. And then I didn't draw that, by the way. This is a postcard that I bought in New Orleans. I feel like I should have clarified that. And then I took like a bunch of photos and videos while we were going throughout the aquarium because I love aquariums. I think they're so fun. And so here I just drew a few of them, just like, oh, I think this page looks so nice. I'm really proud of it. Sadly, I have to move on now though. I really tried to like continue the theme of mixed media and dark backgrounds and just, I don't know, different things with this page. Because I was so proud of how this turned out. I thought it looked really good. But then I came over here and it just, I don't know what happened. It's not like I didn't put effort into this page, because I did. I don't know what went wrong. So yeah, these are just more Lunabelle doodles. I love Lunabelle, if you can't tell. And then these are some persona concepts again. If you've watched my drawing 20 characters video, this was a storyboard for like the little animatic that was at the beginning of the video, and it continues on to here as well, I think. Yeah, there it is. These are just doodles of my characters, some concepts, a little doodle of me. I did these for my ArtX collaboration, but yeah, those were just some test doodles I did for the pencils. I really tried to like do what I did on this page, except when I was in a coffee shop with friends and it didn't work. I think it was just because I wasn't using a pencil and I'm way too nervous to go in straight with a pen, or at least I was back then. But this page was for my ArtX sponsorship, I guess. I don't know what else to consider it. I just drew 2 cute little girls wearing some cute little outfits, and I think it looks pretty good. I don't mind it. It's not my favorite, but it's good. If you've seen any of my redesigning videos, these are the original sketches that I made for my persona, as well as like some storyboards up here. Honestly, going forward, a lot of my sketchbook is just gonna be like practice sketches for future or past YouTube videos and stuff like that. And then continuing, I did some more sketches for her. I don't know, I think these all look weird, but I wasn't even really trying. I was just trying to get like the general feel out of the way, and then I knew I was gonna go back digitally and I was gonna be able to like fix everything. Then here's more Cromwell. I love Cromwell. I'm normal about my OCs. I'm normal about him. I think he looks so good here. I love my characters. Here's some more just like line of action studies. Here I was like focusing more on value and shadows. I really like how this page turned out. I really like how this one turned out. I feel like I would love this one if it weren't for the fact that his arm was just way too short, but I'm not gonna think about it anymore. Then these were more Josta doodles for this persona that's on screen. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm definitely gonna change her design soon enough, because honestly, I'm not that much of a fan of it. I hate to say it, because I feel like these pages feel so lackluster in comparison to ones like these and these, but I'm actually so happy with how like my sketchbook has been, just because ever since college started, I kind of just use my sketchbook more as a place for me to like practice and just do stuff without the fear of it being perfect, and it's been so much more fun to keep it this way instead of having the expectation of like, oh, I have to make every single page so pretty and so polished and so perfect, because now it's like I can just do this and it looks good. Like, these look good. I really do. Oh my, Discord. Y'all, Discord is my favorite My Little Pony character. Look at him. I love him to death. So these are just concepts for like a human Discord design, and I love Discord so much. I'm normal about him. I'm so normal. These are some faces that I drew. I think these were all references on Pinterest. Yeah. This page is empty. I didn't feel like filling it. We got Fluttershy. I love Fluttershy so much. She's like genuinely one of my favorite characters ever. So these are some more concept doodles for her human design. If you haven't watched my redesigning My Little Pony video, go watch it if you want. I'm actually really proud of how it turned out. I initially started sketching her in like cottagecore adjacent outfits just because I was like, I literally feel like people are gonna hate me if I don't put her in an outfit like that. But then I ended up not doing it. And then I tried coming up with a concept for Rainbow Dash, but I couldn't really think of anything, so I ended up saving her for part 2. And here's some more of my concepts for Pinkie Pie. I love how this looks. She is so cute and just so fun. Pinkie isn't really my favorite My Little Pony character, but like, I don't hate any of the main 6. She's still really fun. Harvey's Stardew Valley. And then these were the storyboards for the beginning animatic in my redesigning My Little Pony video. And I really like how this page turned out. I got really bored one day and I didn't feel like working on my assignments, so I just got out some Copic markers and I started drawing random faces with them. I did these without a reference. I was just kind of like goofing around basically, and I love how this one turned out. And then around the characters, I used black Posca pen, and then I doodled over the Posca with a white gel pen. And I think this page looks so cluttered, but just like so good at the same time. More Josta doodles. I was gonna make more sprites with this persona design, but I ended up not, just because I didn't really have that much time. And then there's a Twilight Sparkle doodle. And another Twilight Sparkle doodle. And then here I did one face study, I think, and then I gave up. Oh, there's me saying I finished the My Little Pony video today. These are just like some random doodles. I had started doing like a painting project in class, and I had some leftover paint on my paint palette, so I just put them on my fingers and I just like did it around the drawings on this page. And I was gonna make a finished piece with Cromwell and Lunabelle, but I ended up not, so these are just like ideas for it. And then that's me thinking, oh, should I try to apply to CalArts? Should I try to apply to all of these art colleges? Short answer is no. I don't have the portfolio for it right now, so I'm gonna hopefully work up one in the next year that I can submit to like other art colleges next year. It's a whole thing, y'all. I don't even have time to ramble about it right now. Me and my boyfriend went to Olive Garden, so I just drew the Olive Garden. I think the perspective, especially like back here, all of this stuff just needs to be like shrunk down a little bit. But otherwise, I really like how it turned out. I think this looks pretty good. Moving on. So I have a friend who's like hyper fixated on David Tennant, and I was bored and I really wanted to draw, so I just told him, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna draw David Tennant. So I did. That's just a little random doodle. Then I just started drawing like some stuff around me, and this is at my house. I'm really proud of how the couch turned out, and then my brother looks fine. He wasn't even sitting on the couch. He was sitting on the floor, resting on the couch on the laptop. I don't know why he does that. And yeah, it looks fine. I don't hate it. These are just some more quick little studies that I did. As you can tell, I didn't really put that much time into them. I was just trying to warm up for the day, I guess. And I don't know, I really like that one, and I really like that one, and I like that one, and I like that, and I like that. I like all of these actually, they turned out pretty good. And then here we have some Ramona Flowers doodles because y'all, I am so excited for the Scott Pilgrim anime. Don't even get me started. I'm so ready for it. Scott is so silly. This show, I'm so excited for it, y'all. Me and my brother were sitting in church, and this was actually the day that my sister got baptized, so what a lovely page to remember it by. And here I forgot my astronomy notebook, so I had to take notes in my sketchbook, which is just fantastic. I got bored at my job and I started doodling some feet. Honestly, not much to see on this page, but I don't know. I think these look nice. Oh my gosh, y'all, don't even get me started on these. I'm actually so happy with how these turned out. If you haven't watched my Q&A video, go watch it if you want, it's there. But these, I love how these turned out. I think they look so cute. Especially her, I think she looks good, but I don't know, there's just something about how this like little sunflower girl turned out that I'm so proud of. I have like a separate sketchbook where I do swatching and stuff like that because it's too small for me to draw in, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I ended up taping in the little swatch page that I did, and I just added some washi tape on the side just to, I don't know, give it some more color. I tried doing life drawings on this page, but they didn't really work out. I like how that one turned out, but we're not gonna talk about it. And then here is me being like, I really don't want to work in this sketchbook anymore, so I'm just gonna start doing random stuff. And random stuff I did. Boom. I actually really like how the spread turned out. It's so like colorful and fun. I don't know, it looks so nice. This page honestly reminds me a lot of Witch Hat Atelier? I don't know how to pronounce it. And then on this page, for these two figures, I doodled like little pose silhouettes in pink, and then I went over it and I did certain details and like color blocking with other colors of Poscas. These pages are so fun. I really like how they turned out. So here, I did this one on the same day, and me and my boyfriend went to Applebee's, and so I drew the Applebee's that we were in, and it doesn't look the best, but you know what? It's okay. And then of course I drew Pomni because of course I'm going to. I love drawing her so much. Her design is so good. I love it so much. Me and some people in my drawing class were like all sat together in a circle, and so I just got out my sketchbook and I started drawing some of them. I actually don't think I've shown it to them at this point. So these are some more design concepts for Rainbow Dash for the Equestria Girls Redesign Part 2 video. Then here's some Rarity doodles. I was trying to get her hair and then like her pose and stuff down, and I love Rarity so much. She's such a fun character. I tried doing the same for Applejack on this page, but then I lost motivation, so that's why it's blank. Here are more Pomni doodles, and then we got like a little Kinger because I love Kinger so much. He's so stupid. He's so me. This page here is me hugging Pomni, and this was actually the original sketch for my Amazing Digital Circus videos thumbnail. I think it's so cute. I really like how it looks. And then here's me just like kind of thinking about stuff that I really want to start focusing on, because I feel like lately in art I haven't been focused on improvement as much as I want to be. I'm still trying to find that balance between content creation, college work, and then personal improvement, if that makes any sense. And I'm pretty sure this is the last spread. There's technically another one, but it has a bunch of like stuff that I don't really want people on YouTube to see. So this is the final one. We have a doodle of a church that I saw on Pinterest and I thought was really cool. Some little scene dinosaur thing. Oh my gosh. That's a random doodle. I got some new art supplies, and so that was just me swatching them. And then me and my boyfriend watched the FNAF movie and he said I drew a yassified Bonnie, so that's what this is. And that is the sketchbook. If you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much. I've been talking for like 50 minutes straight now. My voice is actually like so dry. I always talk about how I have such mixed feelings about my sketchbook and like how I want to do more with my next one. And honestly, I kind of just want my next sketchbook to like not have as much pressure applied on me. I mean, I'll admit, I think this side of my sketchbook looks a lot better than this one, but I found myself improving and just like enjoying art more whenever I was messing around with stuff like this, instead of like trying to focus on making finished pieces and stuff like that. So we'll see with my next sketchbook what'll happen. So if you enjoyed this video, go check out my other content, especially my digital art ones, because I put a lot more effort into those than I do for my traditional ones. If you want to see more of my art, I have a Pinterest and an Instagram. Both are at Josta, the same as my YouTube handle. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!